You have to become who you truly are. What life has caused you to become, you have to become, because your emotional wealth is at stake. How you feel is at stake. And the more you do this, the more you're just gonna get so tired and weary from negative emotion. The solution to negative emotion is an action. The solution to negative emotion is to find a different vibrational perspective, a vantage point, to soothe the vibrational standpoint that you're now at. That truly is a work. That's what we mean by shifting vibration. You have to become who you are, because that's what this is all about. This is the art of becoming who you really are. This is the art of joining the perspective of your inner being. When you have negative emotion, it's so nice to know that wherever you are in life, wherever you go, however much money you have, whatever you end up doing, whether it's today, tomorrow, or a year down the line, no matter where you end up going, one thing will always remain. When a thought feels negative, when you feel negative emotion, it only means one thing. You and your inner being have differing point of views on that thought. How amazing is that? That's true guidance. You know, this guidance system is truly so crazy, because with this guidance system, you can truly go everywhere. And the beauty of having a built-in guidance system is that you have a moment, it takes you moment to moment. It's holding your hand moment to moment. You have guidance every single moment. When you feel negative emotion, that's your guidance telling you, hey, you're a little off. You should probably do something to fix your frequency, because if you continue in this direction, then you're going to get something that you don't want. You're going to meet a manifestation that you don't want. The more sensitive you get to negative emotions, the more you realize that negative emotions are not your nature. And so you don't stay in those frequencies that long. You're always making your way back up. Life gets really good for you. When you're feeling negative emotion, that means that your inner being is feeling so good about whatever topic you're thinking about. When you look at the absence of dollars and you say, wow, I'll probably never be rich, and you feel that in that gut, when you feel that negative emotion in your gut, that is truly your inner being being like, nope, we feel amazing. And so our whole thing is, why don't you just go with your inner being? And you know why? Because you have so much of reality. You have so many points. You have so many reasons not to believe your inner being. Your inner being saying you're rich, and you're saying, well, inner being, I can't just be rich. I can't expect this to go my way, because it hasn't been going. You come up with all these limitations, and usually they're based on your facts, but your inner being doesn't care. That's the thing, is that your inner being doesn't care about. Isn't that so amazing? Your inner being doesn't care about resistance. Your inner being doesn't really care about where you've been. Your inner being just always remains pure in its frequency and knows what you want and knows how to get you there, and it will always stay there for you. That's true guidance. That's a true friend. That's true upliftment. How amazing is that? And this conversation truly is really about becoming who you are. You have to become who you are. And that really goes hand in hand with this emotional manifestation, because we know that everything that you want is to feel good, and feeling good really means, because your emotions are feeling good really means being in alignment with your inner being, because your guidance system is literally between you and your source. Your guidance system is not between you and your money. It's not between you and your career, you and this, you and that. There's no conditions when it is between you and your inner being. That's what's so interesting about all of this, is that the thing is, we're not saying that you need to just completely flop on manifestations and just realize that they're not going to come, so just go for it. Become, happy without anything that you want. No, we're smart. We know how to get you all the way there. We have good momentum going on, and so we have words that can truly satisfy and add value and really help you and aid you on your quest to wherever you are, that life has shown you that you want to go to. While you're going there, there are words that we can give you, and these are the words that we would give you. Negative emotion is a good thing. You're doing a lot better than you think, but you just have guys. You just have to build an appetite for positive emotion, and we want you to become a vibrational sound. We want you to look in the face of negative emotion and be like, sorry, like this feels negative, because it doesn't think is that's the thing. A thought that feels negative, it doesn't matter about how real it is. It doesn't matter about how factual it is. When it feels negative, it's negative. It's negative, meaning it's not something that you want to. Your guidance system is telling you this is a thought that you don't want to foster. You want to let it go. You want to think something else. And so that's where things get really interesting, because when you do consider your inner being's point of view, because your inner being is a really big component of who you are. It's probably it's a large part of who you are. It's your real point. It's your point of attraction. You have 2 points of attractions, but your inner being is your dominant. It's more dominant. It truly is. And we just don't think that you have to reemerge back into your non-physical body. Everything that you want, I think everything that you want can come fast. But when you stand where you are right now and you're dissatisfied with where you stand, for everyone is where they are. But when you're dissatisfied with where you are, you can't go anywhere else. You just continue to get more, because and there's physics to that. In your dissatisfaction with where you stand, you just flop around, you flail around, and you're mad, and you want. Thing is, but that, that's crazy though, because you don't feel good, and so you're like, okay, I don't feel good because of all this stuff. So all this stuff needs to happen, and then I'll feel feel better. What we're saying is you can't get there from there. It doesn't work like that because the vibrational foundation is faulty. It's gonna crack. And so that's what happens. And then you're like, okay, well, how come nothing I want is ever coming? We're saying, well, that's why, because that's your opinion. That's truly your understanding of everything. That's your belief. And any manifestation that you have, you found, and you've been wanting it and it manifests, you found a way to tip the balance, because there's this balance between wanting it and resisting it. And all you have to do is just tip the balance, meaning want it a little bit more than you resist it. And today what we're saying is your inner being literally holds all the thoughts, it just holds everything that you want. It holds the way for you to get there. So we're like, why don't you just go there? Why don't you just buy into your inner being? Well, because reality is real. That's the thing, reality is real, and you're so used to you're so used to conditional love. You're so used to conditional love, but it doesn't have to be like that. Your creational self, who you are, doesn't have to be about creation, all about your creations. Your worth doesn't come from your creations. Your worth comes from how you feel. True success is how you feel. Because you know why true success is? Because when you're in the vortex, and you're steadily there, then naturally everything that you want is a byproduct of that alignment. What are you aligning with though? Your inner being. It's like you're over here thinking I'm not rich, and your inner being saying we're pretty rich, we're abundant, everything's so easy for us, and you're not aligning those frequencies. And you know that because you feel negative emotion. But we're saying all you have to do is just figure out a way to align those frequencies up. Because when you don't feel good, this is a really a good example. For example, you're looking at your bank account balance and you feel negative emotion when you look at it. So you're like, okay, since I feel negative emotion, I'm gonna do what all the other humans do, what I've been seeing. I'm going to go out there and I'm gonna find out ways to make more money, right? Because that's natural. Because when I have more money, I'll look at my bank balance and I'll feel good. And we're like, yeah, but see, that's taking the action journey. But it's easier than that, because when you take the action journey, that's how you get a little bit of money. That's how you work really hard. You have no holidays, and you don't buy anything you want. You sacrifice more. You don't get. It's not the path of least resistance. It's the path of most resistance. That's the best way to say it. But then you listen to us, and you're like, okay, it's a vibrational journey. It's a vibrational gap. Oh, did you hear that? Because the reason why it's a vibrational gap is because it's just a change in how you feel. It's all about changing how you're shifting how you feel. Whoa, this is really crazy. Okay, just follow us, right? So there's this vibrational gap, right? And you're like, okay, like I don't feel good right now because I don't have any money right now. But is the solution then to go out and find money? Or like, no, because even if you were to, from your place of dissatisfaction with money, there's only so much that you can really do. And most people are operating from that, and that's not even disrespect to them. It's just a fact. But we're saying, okay, but when you take the vibrational journey, instead of jumping into action too soon, when you take this vibrational journey, then you will be inspired to action. And what is a vibrational journey? Well, since you don't feel good about your bank balance right now, do you think that you can feel good about your bank balance when you step back and go really general? And then do you think you can stay there and then wait and then you'll get an inspiration to do something? Do you feel like that's the path of least resistance? Or do you think it's just easier to get off of the topic of money and onto the topic of just realizing, hey, I just want to feel good? But see, it's not a leap of faith. It's more like it takes a clear understanding. It takes meditation, it takes sleeping, waking up enough days. It really takes an appetite for higher frequencies. It takes the being a vibrational self. It really takes that understanding of all this to really be like, wait a second. What I want is the feeling. I just don't want to feel the fear of not having money anymore. There you go. I just don't want to feel the fear of not having money anymore. So how do I do that? Just by not being afraid of money, by soothing it, by talking myself into not being afraid of money. We're like, then money has to come because now you're a match to more money. We're saying it's a vibrational gap is so easy because you can accomplish it in literally minutes, and then you will start to see results. How do you know when you did a good job with all the process? Because what you want manifested. And if what you want didn't manifest, you can beat yourself up for it, but it's just you add more resistance. But when you just accept that, I was sloppy, but now in this moment I am where I am, and I can either look back or I can look forward. And I'm gonna look forward because here's the thing: your inner being is happy wherever you stand, and you just need to get on with that. Because what did you gather from this video? How you feel doesn't have anything to do with what you're looking at. It's all about what your perspective is of what you're looking at. It's like your conclusion. It's your story about what you're looking at. But when you factor in how your inner being feels so good. So we're like, you need to tell the same version of the story as your inner being is, because it feels good. It's not about how real the thought is. It's not about the intellectual properties of the thought. It's really about, are you ready for this? How it feels. Kids know that. They don't talk about things that don't feel good. We want you to do the same, because the more you talk about things that you like and the things that actually feel good, the more you lean in that direction, or you'll just lean away from not feeling good. And the faster you get everywhere. You have to become who you are. Life has caused you to become rich, has you become a lot of these things, and you have to become all these things. And you know what the downside is? If you don't become these things, you feel bad at the moment. And that's the greatest tragedy of all, because you came here for fun. The truth the true success is joy. That's the true success. And because when the true success is joy, you have instant success, and everything that you want is, it just has to come. It has to come. But if it doesn't, you're just resisting it. And we're telling you, well, the reason why you're resisting it usually is because you're dissatisfied with where you stand. And you don't need to be dissatisfied with where you stand, because where you stand is a vibrational gap between where you are and where you want to be. Because where you want to be is a feeling where you just don't want, you think is you just don't want to be sad about money. You just don't want to be scared about money. You want to feel secure about money. So we're saying, but you can find that feeling now and not need your reality to change. And that's what we mean by conditional alignment. And when reality doesn't have to change, it will really change. And then you'll just be skipping around, and you'll be living happily ever after, and everything that you want will just be getting better and better and better, and you'll be creating bigger and bigger things, and you'll have bigger impulses with bigger payoffs, and life is going good. And you know what, you just always have guidance. You always have guidance, y'all. And guidance is so cool. It's so cool to have guidance, because once you know what negative emotion means, you can't feel negative emotion and not know what it means. You know what I mean? Guidance is just guidance. You know how to do this. You're doing a good job, and continue on.